food market opens up. So I think that's something that we need to learn. Some other comments here coming in from Aida Nasema, simlisema huyu anaombaga basi tuombe arekebike. I think he's referring to our prayerful president. The other thing that I wanted us to talk about before we forget is now the international outlook of Kenya. Should this be a primary source of concern over the day-to-day well-being of the common man? Because you're always hearing, like people mention, when tourists see this, they're not going to come. When foreign investors see this, they're not going to come. Do you think, and this sometimes is prioritized over the well-being of like the day-to-day hustler, mtu ambaye tu anajaribu kuishi? So I don't know much what you think about this. International outlook, should that be a primary source of concern?
No, international hogwash. Here's the thing. We, meaning Kenyans, have to live in our country with our country as our country is. And by the way, these international chaps are not the ones who are the number one source of income as they used to be with tourism.
No.
They haven't in I don't know how many years.
No.
I would say probably since year 3 of UK's government.
No, it's actually I think more than 10 years. Yeah.
But that's what I was saying. I was saying year 3 of UK's government. Tourism has been uko chini ya maji. In fact, you pray and wish the tourists would come. Because it's us, the domestic tourists, whether it's you want to call them the diaspora or whether you want to call them whatever, it's Kenyans who are supporting Kenya. So we have to deal with Kenya as Kenyans. If the international folks want to come on board after we have cleaned up our act, sour. But we should not be doing anything based upon what these guys on the outside are saying or influencing or doing, or we want them to do. No.
Ali,
we should handle our stuff internally.
Let me tell you, even Jesus in the Bible, and maybe Omosh might support me, and I don't know why Bandio is laughing. By the way, he needs also to jump in and chime in.
Maybe Bandio was a carpenter.
Because
that's why he's laughing at you.
Oh, he's a carpenter. Yeah. Here's the thing. It says somewhere, before you go into Judea, before you go out there,
Jerusalem.
Galilee, if you're in Galilee,
yes.
Tengeneza Galilee kwanza.
Yes.
Fix it, just fix.
Start from home.
Yeah.
Wakikuyu usema gemishi magana moshi. Charity begins at home. Start home first. Right now, of least concern should be what international, whatever it is, because things are madhogo than you as we speak. Right? Again, like Omosh is saying, people right now, their concern is unga, or their concern is mafuta. Because ukipanisha mafuta, everything else, it's a trickle down.
Yes, a trickle down.
Hiyo ni sasa nini zinapanda, boof light inapanda, which means even just transportation of stuff.
Piki ya 50 bob sai ni 70.
Ni 70.
It has gone up.
Initially,
do the afinje.
Yeah.
It's not there.
If at one point watu walikuwa nangoja bei za mathiri zishuke from 80 to 50, sasa zitashuka, pengine zitashuka mpaka to 70. And somebody is trying to save those tubes. That 20 bob, kuna mtu anajaribu kusave. So, first concern is, let us fix things here.
Yeah.
I mean, here, when I say here, I mean in Kenya.
Yeah, quite a number of comments coming here. But real quick, before I read the comments, there's one thing I wanted to say I like about the US. They think about their people first. Hata kama wanajenga Las Vegas, the first people they're going to think about before trying to imagine if Hamisa Mobeto is going to come from Tanzania to go take Instagram pictures, the first people they're going to think of is Americans. They're going to think of Americans before they start thinking, maybe Huda Mondro atakuja pige picha hapa. They think of Americans first. Now, if you as an outsider, look at what they built for Americans and you like it, we welcome you too. But in Kenya, we kind of have, an opposite mentality where utakuta we are busy building certain things for tourists before the people who are living there are even, well taken care of. So I think that's a model that we need to copy, from other places. I can see there's actually a comment saying that Stephen J.J. anasema Tanzania ndio anapata tourists. And this is quite true. Tanzania is doing very well in tourism.
when you go look at certain spaces, and I know maybe some Tanzanians who live in Tanzania maybe might disagree with me, but for me visiting Tanzania from the outside, there's certain things I notice. Unaona kama beach Mombasa, like the prime beaches, they're usually hidden from the public. Unaambiwa ati ni private beach, which by the way is illegal.
There's nothing like that.
It's illegal. Kenya. It's illegal, yes. But then it's hidden private. But
people don't know.
Unaambiwa ni private beach.
Yeah.
But unaona ukienda pale kama Zanzibar, the same place where the tourists are bathing, those same hotels, those same premium hotels, is the same place where you're gonna meet the locals. You're gonna meet the local fishermen, and I think that's what attracts like a lot of people from outside to go there. Ukienda tuseme sehemu kama Forodhani hapo Zanzibar, like the same place where the tourists are coming to enjoy, like that Swahili food and everything, is the same place where, like regular people from Stone Town in Zanzibar come to buy their food, like in the evenings when that food market opens up. So I think that's something that we need to learn. Some other comments here coming in from Aida nasema, simlisema huyu anaombaga basi tuombe arekebike. I think he's referring to our prayerful president. And then Stephen JJ, tumbo kwanza unga. And then Pablo anasema, I think Kenya is still sitting pretty internationally. We have seen foreign leaders stream into Kenya. Plus, I think there are a few other international meetings lined up that will bring foreign government leaders to Kenya. I would be keen to know from a foreign affairs insider how Kenya looks internationally. Okay, fair enough. Actually, the Iranian president was in Kenya.
Yeah.
But there was a diplomatic gaffe, because he did not come on the day he was supposed to come. I think he came a day or two later. There was a diplomatic gaffe that happened, and I think it was...
Was he going to cancel?
He was going to cancel. I think it had something to do with either being... like a state visit or an official visit. There was some gaffe that was made.
Got you.
There was some gaffe that was made.
So what was this rated as? So what is this? Is this on an official visit or a state visit?
It was a state visit. So I think after they fixed the gaffe, then he was like, atakuja. Okay, and I think we're going to talk about that later. And then Pablo anamwambia Aida aongoze praise and worship before maombi. Okay, so yes, so I think this is where
Pablo.
So I think this is where we are at that point. We're at a point where we don't know what's going to happen next week. We're at that point of uncertainty.
Correct.
Because
every day is new for us
because
in all of this now.
The president, instead of giving people hope that things are going to be better, he's doubling down on his position, and he's telling people who are going to go to protest watakiona cha mtema kuni.
And he's also he's him as a president, him being the leader. What exactly is UK okay, you're supposed to govern. People are here, but you're more concerned about whatever allegedly that UK is doing?
Yes.
Come on, man.
But
that goes back to Ali's point of being on campaign mode.